ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भुरिदा जनाः। Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses among his intimate devotees, which took place in Dakshineshwar temple premises at his residential room on 22nd of February 1885, being a Sunday following his last birthday, Tithi Puja celebrated publicly. With the following year, by the time of following year, his birthday, he was already having illness and shifted to Kashipur. It was a very happy occasion and Sri Ramakrishna was himself enjoying his birthday. Usually, spirituality is considered to be a serious subject. When a person is religious, spiritual, then you expect some sort of gravity. We do not take it lightly. There must be some seriousness in spiritual interactions. That is our understanding. So when you go to the religious places or religious personality, we become very alert so that we do not go out of bounds. हम लोग कभी हल्कापन से नहीं लेते हैं. But we see here a different picture in Sri Ramakrishna's personality. And here in this connection, Sri Ramakrishna himself is mentioning an anecdote of his own life, which happened with Keshav Chandra Sen before. Girish Ghosh said, I am not your equal even in joking. मजाक में भी आपसे हार गए. Now, the jokes and frivolity is considered to be something different from spiritual life. Spiritual personalities are not supposed to make jokes and make funs. But here we find Sri Ramakrishna as an alternative, as an exception. And he himself says an anecdote of his own life, that he went to the garden house of Jayagopal Sen, Rambo devotee. He used to go. And there he went there wearing a red bordered cloth. Now, the red bordered cloth and some draperies, some particular dresses, they do not go at par with spiritual life. The spirituality must be austere. We believe it must be some austere outlook, appearance, not any that showing of any grandeur in the external dress and appearance. But here Sri Ramakrishna went there with a beautiful cloth of red border. Seeing that, Keshav Chandra Sen made a comment. आज ये खूब बाहर, you come well dressed. साधु संत ड्रेस के ऊपर ध्यान नहीं देते हैं, और श्री रामकृष्ण ये इसे नहीं है, ये बहुत अच्छा करके कपड़ा वपड़ा पहन के आए थे, गुड लुकिंग रेड बॉर्डर क्लॉथ. तो केशव चंद्र सेन ऐसे ही बताया था उनको, आज जे बड़ो रंग लाल पेड़ेर बाहर. लाल किनारे की धोती पहनकर जयगोपाल सेन के बगीचे में गया था. केशव सेन वहाँ पर था. केशव ने लाल किनारी को धोती देखकर कहा, आज तो खूब रंग दिख रहा है, लाल किनारी का बड़ी बहार है. मैंने कहा, केशव का मन भुलाना होगा, इसलिए बहार लेकर आया हूँ. আমি বললাম কেশবের মন ভুলাতে হবে, তাই বাহার দিয়ে এসেছি. Such a display of red border, I said, I have to cast a spell on Keshav, hence this display. He spoke jokingly to silence Keshav. Now, what is the rationale of this sort of attire of Sri Ramakrishna? We have to understand. When Sri Ramakrishna was doing intense spiritual practice, he was oblivious of his surroundings, of his dress or his food. And even otherwise, he would hardly able to keep his cloth in proper order, because his mind will be mostly in an ecstatic state. Then why is he behaving this way with his devotees? Now there is a prayer, we know, he made to the Divine Mother after he became perfect. He attained the Brahma Jnana Samadhi. When he came back to normal consciousness, then he made a prayer to Ma Bhavatarani, মা আমাকে রসে বসে রাখিস, শুকনো সন্ন্যাসী করিস নে. Do not make me a dry sannyasin. Keep me under good care and keep me under control. Now what happens when we get attached with the care and luxury, then we lose our control. His prayer is that we should be within limit. There should not be any compromise of his basic monastic norms. But at the same time, unnecessary austerities are also not recommended. This is the new trend of spiritual life Sri Ramakrishna has initiated in this age. When God comes in a particular age, He shows us the way and He shows everything. he redefines the goal of life. He shows again the new method to reach the goal, the new values of life, and also the new model of the lifestyle. Even the lifestyle he designs, so that there is a renaissance in all the aspects of the spiritual participants. So his idea is being followed by new order of sannyasins, new order of spiritual aspirants, where no undue importance or attention is being paid for the style of dress or nature of food. Even in food, he was very liberal. Even his clothes, he is liberal. Srima Sharda Devi, after the passing away of Sri Ramakrishna, wanted to wear the usual dress of widows, which is completely white sarees without any border. In tradition of the Indian womanhood, and also she wanted to get rid of all her ornaments, but Sri Ramakrishna forbade. And Srima Sharda Devi continued to wear red bordered sari, in contrast to the norms of the widows, and also she was wearing bangles. The bangles were prepared by Sri Ramakrishna himself when he saw the vision of Sita. So the bangles Sitaji is wearing, he made a replica by paying on his own reserve for his wife, Srima Sharda Devi, and insisted that those bangles should be continued. There is of course another reason there, because he said Sri Ramakrishna is not an ordinary husband of Sri Ma Sharda Devi. Sri Ramakrishna is an eternal companion of Sri Ma Sharda. So there is no separation. Even if Sri Ramakrishna has given up his body, Sri Ma Sharda Devi has not become widow, because Sri Ramakrishna is ever alive and he is ever connected with Sri Ma Sharda Devi. He is Chinmay Swami, Chinmay Sampark. He is a relation of consciousness, Chaitan, Chaitanya ka consciousness, Chaitanya ka rishta hai. So in that condition, Sri Ma Sharda Devi was protected, but even otherwise, Sri Ramakrishna was having his clothes, beddings, etc. in a mediocre level. There is a common saying here, but this is not to be practiced for the spiritual aspirant. When a person is aspiring to realize God, then he must have very strict life of renunciation, that he did not compromise. So out of the way, one incident I must tell you here, that when Narendranath was being trained to take away very, very serious pattern of spiritual life, and then he was encouraged to lead a life of renunciation. Narendranath was having a particular hairstyle and particular dresses. When Sri Ramakrishna commented, then Narendranath pointed out the mattress, etc., being used by Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshineshwar temple. Then Sri Ramakrishna replied that I spent long years without knowing any food or sleep. Long 12 years. So even if you can do even a part of it and attain God, then I will make all this set of luxuries for you. It doesn't matter. That is, the goal should be reached without compromising any standard of the sadhana. But having reached the goal, the austerities, etc., should not be an exhibition. We need not show or impress others by our way of life. We must lead a natural life where only the necessities are protected. So that's why Sri Ramakrishna was so jovial, so easily available for all. And he also wanted that the devotees should follow his way of life. We have to understand that this is a new dimension, new dispensation, post Ramakrishna era. The job of the avatar is to set in motion a new way of life, also a new way of monastic life. Now he was a monk and a householder, two in one. He showed an ideal way of living a householder's life and also an ideal way of living a monastic life simultaneously. So both the householder devotees and monastic devotees will get ample material to learn and imbibe by seeing and following Sri Ramakrishna's life and words. As for example, in the incarnation of Sri Chaitanya Dev, he was also God incarnate, but he has exhibited the norm of monks should be absolute austerity. If the cloth has been torn, then the torn part should be tied up or stitched and the old cloth should be used. It is an ornament for sannyasis, being a flag of renunciation. Whereas Sri Ramakrishna used to be angry, used to forbid his devotees that if a piece of cloth is torn, it should not be reused. That invites poverty. This is a new way of teaching. अगर कपड़ा फट गया, उसको सिलाई करके रिपेयर करके पहनने का ज़रूरत नहीं है, उसको बदल देना चाहिए, नहीं तो दारिद्र्य होता है, महालक्ष्मी कुपिता होता है. That is his way of teaching. So he insisted that a simple life, অনাড়ম্বর জীবন, সহজ জীবন, simple, without any grandeur, without any humbug. A life should be led. Spirituality does not mean that in the hard life showing everything very austere. It should be natural. A life of enjoyment, a life of mirth. As you said, he makes jokes, he makes funs. He is being God of the universe, such a high, exalted, spiritually attained person is going to see circus in Calcutta. Can you imagine? A person is going to see circus, is going to see drama in Calcutta theatres. Of course, the dramas are of very good theme. They are not for entertainment. They are meant to arouse spiritual feelings on us, like the life of Chaitanya Dev and others. But nevertheless, he went to see the dramas. In those days, seeing the dramas used to be considered not a very good taste. This is something to be understood, that have changed the age. Now we will not be able to understand. This theatre, in Calcutta, I used to go to see theatre. Even when we were young, what to talk of Sri Ramakrishna's age, even in our life when we were young, we were not allowed to see any theatre. That is not used to be considered an act of good taste, because there the males and females in person participate in the drama. We are allowed to see theatres where there will be no female actors. The male people will act as females. That was the way in our house, Purvashram, we used to see theatre conducted by our family people, but no ladies will participate. Such a strict orthodox system was prevalent in our country. That is now in this century, but what happened in Sri Ramakrishna's case, we can understand. Such a conservative society, but Sri Ramakrishna goes out to see the theatres which are staged by the prostitutes. So he has redefined spirituality, that we have to change our outlook, a holistic way of life. The spirituality must be lived in our day-to-day life by changing our attitude, changing our outlook, making our life oriented towards God and God alone. For these trivial, minor modifications in dress and clothes and food habits are redundant. So after this topic, you can understand on this birthday celebration, now the devotees wanted to dress him with a new piece of yellow cloth. The birthday, they must have a new attire. That we do, we purchase a new dress. So the devotees brought as a gift some new set of cloth, yellow dhoti, for him to present it to wear. But he didn't wear. He says that I don't mind, but if I wear, people may think that I am enjoying luxury. Then after a lot of persuasion, the devotees could make him understand, no, it is not like that, nobody will misunderstand you, that is for our pleasure, you please wear it. So, see, Ramakrishna's life, his way of understanding spirituality must be reviewed by us with much more seriousness than we do it at the moment. Then he requests Narendranath to sing song. Now there was a Tanpura. Now Sri Ramakrishna always wanted to have the songs accompanied by the instruments. That was again another aspect of his life. That if something should be done, it should be done with proper system. बाकायदा करना चाहिए. अगर गाना हो रहा है तो तानपुरा वाद्य यंत्र इत्यादि से होना चाहिए. तानपुरा, मृदंगा, etc. And if they were not in tune, he used to be upset. He would become very upset. That should be in tune. Now Narendranath was an expert singer, so it is to be noted that it is Sri Ramakrishna who told Master Mahashaya to bring the Tanpura from the wall and give it to Narendranath so that he can sing in accompaniment of the Tanpura. अब फिर नरेंद्र का संगीत होगा. श्री रामकृष्ण ने मास्टर से तानपुरा उतार देने के लिए कहा. नरेंद्र बहुत देर से तानपुरे को बांध रहे हैं. श्री रामकृष्ण तथा सभी लोग अधीर हो गए हैं. But Narendranath was an expert, musical participator. So he, as necessary, that it should be tuned. The musical instrument should be attuned to the scale of the singer. He was fixing the Tanpura. And naturally it take long time. Those who are not familiar with so much of detailed music, they will be upset. They will be impatient. That's what happened here. One person says it is taking inordinate time to make the preparations of setting the Tanpura. So perhaps he will set the Tanpura today and the music is present tomorrow. They are making a fun. But Narendranath, notwithstanding, he was engaged in fixing his Tanpura. Sri Ramakrishna even commented, I feel like breaking the Tanpura so that he had no time to waste on the Tanpura because he is not bearable anymore. And now, not only the time is going for Tanpura setting, after it is set, then the singer, as usual, will do some रिवाज. गाना का पहले रिवाज करते हैं, आलाप करते हैं, उसके बाद भजन होगा. Now someone commented that this is the usual trend wherever such music is offered. Even in a theatre, in a jatra, long time is spent and it is very irritating. In the beginning, it is very irritating. श्री रामकृष्ण कह रहे थे, ऐसी इच्छा हो रही है कि तानपुरे के तोड़ डालूं. क्या टोंग टंग फिर ताना नाना नेने डूम होगा. भवनाथ कह रहे हैं संगीत के प्रारंभ में ऐसी ही तंगी मालूम होता है. बट नरेंद्रनाथ रिप्लाइड, न समझने से ही ऐसे होता है. Narendra silenced everybody, saying that one feels irritated if one does not know the music. Those who are knower of music, they will appreciate, they will think that is being done with proper that care. Because if a music is sung out of scale, then it is a pain to the ear for musicians. Those who do not know music, they will not mind. But those who are pakka musician, when they hear the music is out of scale and he is playing something and singing in a different scale, then that is jarring to the ear, that is not bearable. That's why it is necessary to make everything in harmony, tune. Sri Ramakrishna is appreciating that those who are saying so many things against Narendranath, he doesn't care for any of us. He sticks to what he wants, what he knows it is to be done. And now Narendra started to sing songs. He sang several songs here. Now, mostly these are Brahmo songs. We know that in those days there was a promulgation of the Brahmo movement. The Brahmos are set up by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. This is a movement which is a combination of Eastern religion and Western religion. So they, on the other hand, have imbibed from Christian theology that they believe in the existence of God, but they think that God is having some qualities but without any form. Saguna Nirakar. That is the nature of God, they believe, like Christians. But in the Brahmos, they have implemented the path of bhakti. That same God can be propitiated by singing His glory, thinking of Him and meditating on Him. This is how the culture of music came back to the area through the door of Brahma Samaj. And there some of the followers of Brahma Samaj, they wrote very good songs. So that has become immortal songs. Now one of them is this song which was composed by Trailokanath Sanyal, the famous Brahmo musician. And the words of the song are also very apt. They say, Antare jagicho goma antare jamuni कोले कोरे आछो बोशे दिवस रजनी ओ माँ अंतर्जामिनी तुम मेरे हृदय में जाग रही हो रात दिन मुझे गोदी में लिए बैठी हो. O Mother, thou my inner guide, ever awake within my heart. Day and night thou holdest me in thy lap. Why dost thou show such tremendous tenderness to this unworthy child of thine? Now, this song further continues. that, "O my mother, you are with me in my days of distress and days of my prosperity. When necessary, you are caressing me, and when necessary, you are scolding me, you are reproaching me. However, this all shows your deep love for me. You are as if mad in your love for your children." So this Brahma Sangeet tries to establish an intimate relation with the divine. Though they try to project that God is without form, but nevertheless they want to develop an intimate relation with God, intimacy with God, and with His, based on His tremendous love for us. Here it is reiterated that, "Please feed me the nectar of your grace and make me mortal, because you are so graceful to me." I am making mistakes over and over again, but you are kind enough to pardon all my mistakes and bring me back to my position. অধম সুতের প্রতি কেন এত স্নেহ প্রীতি, প্রেমে আহা একেবারে যেন পাগলিনী. The singer, the devotee is singing that I am adham, I am not worthy of your love, of your affection. The total song of surrender to the Divine Mother, that though I am your son, but I am not worthy of your son. I make so many mistakes. But one thing I see, that you have unending love for me. Though I am incompetent and I have lot of failings, but you have unbounded love for me. This we cannot rationalize, that why should he be so graceful to me, but the fact is this. That's what the devotee sincerely believes. কখনো আদরও করি, কখনো সবলে ধরি, পিয়াও অমৃত শোনাও মধুর কাহিনী. As per the situation, sometimes you caress me, and sometimes you hold me tight, and you feed me the nectar of your divinity, and make me hear your wonderful stories which I need to learn. নিরবধি অবিচারে কত ভালোবাসো মরে, উদ্ধারিছ বারে বারে পতিতোদ্ধারিণী. You are patitodharini. Uddharini mantab, those who are fallen. You are redeemer of the fallen ones. Again and again I am falling far behind than where I want to go. Nevertheless, your hand of grace and protection is always there and saving my life. Always heard them going astray. So again and again you are saving my life. That is a grace. The devotee praises the divine through this song. বুঝেছি এবার সার, মা আমার আমি মার, চলিব সুপথে সদা, শুনি তব বাণী. Now I have concluded, I have understood finally that you are my mother and I am your child. That is what to be remembered and followed. We need not know anything else. Unless until and unless we come close. If you think that God is something very great, then there will be distance. And you cannot be close with the divine. So in order to become intimate, the goal should be, in order to become intimate with God, we must re-establish our eternal relation with the divine, that she is mother and I am her child. And I take a resolve that I will now follow the straightforward way, lead a pious life, and I will be fortifying myself with more strength and valor. Anande gahibo joy brahma sanatani. And after this, I will be beside myself with joy. The Narendranath sings further songs also, which we'll take up in our next Sunday class, which are also very, very exalted in their meaning. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. We close now with the chanting of the Lord, with the announcement that next Sunday we'll have Phalaharini Kali Puja, but our Sunday morning class will continue. We'll have Kali Puja, another detailed program which will be announced in due course through our WhatsApp channels. Now we close down with group bhajan. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om.